We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on the Miami Dolphins defense. What an elite performance out of them versus the Jets, shutting them out, holding them to 0 points. And they have been elite for many weeks now. But after that last Titans game, I really wanted to see how they bounced back after basically collapsing after the end of that game. What were they going to show? This defense has been really good. I need them to finish strong. They got a pretty good matchup versus the Jets, and they showed up and made huge impact plays. Everyone. Bradley Chubb played probably his best game of the season. Wilkins and Sealer were dominant in the interior, and if Wilkins and Sealer are dominating as pass rushers, this defense is going to be very difficult to score against. Even with the secondary mostly injured, they are missing, both starting safeties and Xavier Howard, and the secondary played great. I'm probably gonna do a lot of individual players breakdown this week just to focus on some people like the safeties. That Elijah Campbell and Brandon Jones played very well. Got to give them credit. I even thought Eli Apple came in and played pretty good. So let me know who you guys really want to see. I'm trying to get to as many people as possible, but last week there was not many videos to make. This week there's a ton. So much credit all around given to these guys, and they just made big play after big play, and it was really exciting to watch them get after the quarterback and play with this much energy after having probably their worst performance of the season at the end. It wasn't overall their worst defense performance, but that collapse was really bad, and super proud of these guys making plays out there. Everyone deserves so much credit, from the coaching staff to the players, for doing this stuff. Going to start with the biggest play of the game. Not going to focus too much on stopping the run because they just stopped that with these, and the Jets really are bad at running the ball. This is where you make this impact. If you watched my preview video, this was one of my main points in the video, is that last week their success came off 1st and 10 play action. So getting after the quarterback, keying the offensive lineman or pass blocking, and getting there, because usually that play action slows you down on 1st and 10. Don't be too focused on that and just get upfield, get it explosive. And that's where their first big play of the game came against. Wilkins, Sealer, Chubb, they were getting after Wilson. Honestly, I felt bad for Wilson and Simeon. There was nothing they could have done in this game. Look how explosive they are off the ball. These guys slide. He's just keying this. He sees how he's sliding that first step is back. Wilkins is instantly trying to penetrate. Same with Sealer. He keys the left tackle. He sees that they're, setting. It's not a traditional pass set, but just based on the feel of this play, they both shoot forward like it's a pass. They read it. Sealer basically forces the running back to block on him. Wilkins gets a free lane as well. Chubb keeps working. Chubb was relentless. Wilkins really forces that play. Sealer also kind of gave him some pressure initially, and then Chubb finishes for getting the sack, and then Sealer almost gets another touchdown, which would have been epic. That would have been his 3rd touchdown, because I remember he scored in the playoff game last year against the Bills, and then he scored last week. Would have been insane and awesome, and almost got it again. But yeah, just really impressed with those three. Chubb, Sealer, and Wilkins were probably the biggest difference maker for me, and really just helped everything else out with the defense, because I thought, Riley had a good game. David Long did what he always does versus the run. Nothing, too insane there. Nothing too different, at least. And then on the back end, we'll get to see throughout the game, Ramsey actually shadowed Garrett Wilson for a lot of this game, which is something they haven't done all season long. And I think that really helped out this game plan. So shout out Vic Fangio for making that adjustment. It's actually one of my favorite plays of the game, most underrated plays of the game. It's, not the craziest impact, just a 1st and 10 pass deflection from Van Ginkel. But Van Ginkel covering Tyler Conklin, their pass catching tight end down the sideline, in man-to-man coverage, is really impressive. We got Ramsey on Wilson at the top. He, it wasn't man-to-man up there, but, basically playing man-to-man, matching zone. It's a basic match zone down here at the bottom, and he just carries this guy. That's an insane play from a guy who's typically an edge rusher. Andrew Van Ginkel, lots of credit for that. His versatility for this team is very impressive. The Dolphins came out and played man-to-man on these 3rd down situations, 3rd and mediums. Here they have Ramsey in the slot on Wilson. He's just shadowing Wilson. Love this. Try to, put your best player on their best player, especially with Howard out. You play cover 1. Elijah Campbell's playing middle of the field. You have Jones robbing the middle. Kohu on the outside here, man-to-man. Apple played a good game here, man-to-man. You see Ramsey had Garrett Wilson pretty much locked up there. Eli Apple versus Xavier Gibson at the top, who's a pretty, he's a rookie, but explosive, and he's not allowing any separation. They stick with it. There's nowhere to go with this ball. Everyone is locked up across the board. Jones ends up coming down, covering the tight end. Kohu has his guy locked up, and Apple makes a play on the ball. I thought Apple was pretty much in good coverage for a majority of the game. He gave up a couple catches, but they weren't anything, substantial, so Pretty happy from what I saw from the backup secondary players, and it makes me feel more comfortable going into the end of the season, even though I do expect Holland, Howard, and Elliott could all play next week. I think they'll have a pretty decent chance of playing next week. I don't know if they'll all be back, but I expect at least one or two of them for sure. They were getting after the quarterback, man. They were not afraid to shoot these gaps. Didn't matter that it was play action, and like usually that freezes these defensive ends. Chubb played at a different level. I gotta make a video solo on Chubb, but I mean, this video will probably be filled with a lot of those plays as well, even though I'm not showing some of them, because, you know, this video would be so long. Like, every play was a big impact. But just look at that ability to read this. This is just great football intelligence. Like, they're sliding like this. Their first initial step does look like, if you look at the O-line, this does look like this could possibly be, like, outside zone to the left. But he just feels this guy's leverage go a little too far back, and he hits that stab, feels that leverage open up to the inside. He's taking it, sees that it's play action, recognize, get after the quarterback. Bradley Chubb was an absolute menace in this game. Love to see Steeler getting some sacks as well, because while I think, you know, everyone across the line does a pretty good job getting after the quarterback, he's probably, you know, not their best pass rusher. He's always a very underrated player, making plays versus the run, taking on double teams, but here he just bullies that left guard all the way back. Pretty much gets him with a push-pull, using some speed to power, bull rushing in, bull rush, and then once you get them pushed so far back, pull forward, throw him across. Both, you know, Chubb and Van Ginkel get a little too far past the quarterback here, but it forces him to step up just a little bit, and that gets right into Steeler where he takes him down to the ground. They were getting after him, bringing four most of the time, and even brought some blitzes and, you know, just made the quarterback feel super uncomfortable. Elijah Campbell with a really good play right here. Dolphins in cover 6. This is to the cover 2 side. This is probably, like, the most impactful I've seen the Dolphins, like, cover 2 safety have a play all season long. Usually, they're just playing deep back here, and they just carry some guy deep, and they're in a good spot, but they don't get targeted a whole ton to the side of the field. But breaking to the corner here, this is where you try to attack this defense in this whole shot here, because this corner is playing the flat and is supposed to get pulled down by 83. He's in a tough spot. It's very difficult for him to make a play on this ball. And then Campbell just playing, he has the inside leverage to this route, and he's still able to just transition super well. And I was a big fan of Elijah Campbell in the preseason, and he got hurt. I thought he had a chance to make an impact player as like a potential third safety while Brandon Jones was, you know, coming back from his injury. And I like, you know, that's a really good play. He was good route recognition, gets out of his break very fluidly, reading the QB's eyes, and then good range, burst to close, and then ball skills to finish out the catch point. That's a very like textbook safety play, right out of like if you're breaking down how a safety should be playing a cover 2. That's exactly what you want to see versus a corner route. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Really impressed with both Campbell and Brandon Jones throughout this game. Another 3rd and long, 3rd and 11. They bring 5. They bring David Long on the blitz. They get him coming in unblocked. And basically when you're hot like this, and it's just like a kind of a, like, usually when Long is blitzing, he's a lot more like creeping up towards the snap, taking it. But it's a little more, you know, farther away, which the offensive line is not expecting him to come. And with it being 3rd and 11, not a lot of these routes are going to be open right away. They're not breaking. So Wilson just gets that guy unblocked, and everyone's getting after him, and it forces another throwaway. So love these, you know, blitzes where David Long is blitzing from, like, the weak side. I love these simulated pressures from him. Another 3rd and long, another sack. Like, honestly, I kind of felt bad for these quarterbacks, just not really anywhere to go for the ball. First of all, I would say there was a lot of good coverage on the back end here. Dolphins working, you know, more cover 6 type situation, playing quarters to the top. Looks like they're playing cover 2 to the bottom again. Everyone pretty much passes off. Things are locked up. Jones finds Garrett Wilson working across. Things only look open late because they have the sack on them. Everyone is in the correct spot here, and if you just look up front, everyone working some stunt work, and everyone just converges on the quarterback at once. Wilkins starts to come in. Steelers the crash guy. Wilkins is the loop guy. Van Ginkel creates some pressure into him. Chubb also wins around the edge, and then all 3 of them meet at the quarterback. I'm not sure who got left out of there. I think Van Ginkel got half a sack on this one. Then maybe Chubb, maybe Wilkins got left out. I'm not exactly sure, but someone got left out in this sack sandwich. It's just, but overall, great work from everyone. 3rd and 19, and they actually get a chance to, you know, throw the ball on a 3rd and long, like down the field. He actually gets a decent chance here, and Garrett Wilson versus Ramsey, this is like one of his first targets in the game. Basically, you get a one-on-one, and Garrett Wilson actually does a pretty good job, like getting Garrett Wilson to open up his hips, runs a good route, and he's in quarters here, so he opens up his hips, and this guy's trying to work to the outside, and he gets him to open, but the ability from Ramsey to be in this position and to completely flip his hips 180 like this, and to get back in the hip pocket and then make a play at the catch point, that is special transitional ability, hip fluidity. That stuff is insane. Like, he actually gets a decent amount of time here. Van Ginkel is able to get a hit on him after he releases it, but yeah, wow, that is really, really like an excellent rep from Ramsey. I'll show one play versus the run because they really stopped running the ball after a while, and the Dolphins pretty much locked it down as they've done versus the run all season long. And you know I got to show play when it's David Long, because David Long is one of the best linebackers versus the run in the NFL. This is just anticipatory right here. So they're flowing across. It's outside zone, but with a split flow from the opposite tight end. And when this happens, you know, a lot of times you're flowing with this offensive line, but he sees this tight end working across, which usually means they're trying to hit more of a cutback on this, being mid-zone. He sees this guy's unblocked here, and he decides to shoot this backside gap behind Raekwon Davis, anticipating the cutback lane, but gets square and then bend it back towards the running back, meeting him right at the line of scrimmage. That stuff is just really ridiculous work from Long. He is a very anticipatory run defender. He takes a lot of chances, and he usually ends up guessing right. You know, I got to show at least one of the Brandon Jones interceptions in this video. So I'll show the one that, happened before they pulled the starters. Not really sure, you know, what that throw is. Dolphins in cover 3. They try to go play action and hit like a two-man route concept down the field, and they get pressure. Like, they have a lot of people protecting, and they get pressure very quickly. They bring DB off the edge, and it just makes the throw get, a little, off course there. And it's nice to see Jones. He's not really known for his ball skills, but get 2 interceptions. I feel like he's deserved this. I feel like people have given him a little bit of slack. But honestly, that last 10 games, I don't think he played that bad out of the whole secondary. I thought the Washington game, he looked pretty good. He really struggled versus the Bills earlier on in the season. But I've seen better and better work out of him. Looks like he's feeling more and more comfortable. We'll look at this from up front. Van Ginkel knives to the inside. They're not blocking him. Wilkins is beating his guy as well. Kohu's coming in unblocked. Chubb's also beating his guy. Like, this is impressive. I don't know. What is the right tackle doing here? So the right tackle goes out. Tries to get hands on Kohu. He whiffs. He almost looks like he's trying to throw him by, and then looks like he's setting up for a screen himself. What is he doing? Okay. And then Jones gets the interception. Sometimes, you take advantage of the matchups when you have them, and the Dolphins defense definitely took advantage of it. Third and long, last play, we're going down. The final strip sack. Probably see this in my Chubb video as well. I mean, all the plays Chubb made. There's even more that he made that I didn't even show in this video. He was absolutely dominant, amazing in this game. This is where he really, closes the game away. And I know people will say it's the Jets offense, and yes, to be fair, the Jets offense is really bad, but the Jets just came off a 30-point second half. They put up 30 points versus the Texans, who were also playing a pretty good defense. And that game was rainy, bad weather, and the Jets didn't look that bad. This is this is still an NFL team, and to come out and shut out an NFL team after what you just did last week, where you gave up, 2 touched 15 points to lose in the final 3 minutes, and you respond like this, that is special no matter who you're playing against. Chubb in the wide 9 position, great job using his hands, able to corner there, get to the quarterback, and then the strip sack, and he recovers it himself. All around, great work. Love what I saw from Chubb, love what I saw from pretty much everyone up front. The entire defense, I couldn't think of anyone playing as a weak point in this game. I don't think anyone had a terrible game. Some people didn't have to do too much just based with how great people were playing. Even, the second crew came into the game later on and looked pretty solid. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.